Welcome, everybody, to your favourite time of the week. It is the Latte podcast. Now, spring is springing, the time of new things, and I'm super excited as we have a new face on our conveyancing department. Now, Elvern here has joined as a paralegal, and I've pulled him for a chat on his journey to becoming a lawyer. So all the whys, how he's got here so far, plans for the future, etc., etc. So Elvern, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start with question number one, which is, what made you want to become a lawyer?
Well, I did my bachelor's degree in politics and international relations at the University of Bath.
Mm-hmm.
And in my first year, we got a list of optional modules to choose. And one of them was an introduction to law.
Okay, so you didn't choose law off straight away. You kind of got intrigued by it, starting a politics degree. Yeah. Okay.
In fact, Bath doesn't even have a law department, so it was just that one module that they offered.
That surprises me, actually. Wow. Yeah. So yeah, you found it on your own. That's interesting.
Yeah. It was a really basic module. It covered the real basics of criminal law, bit of land law, bit of tort law, contracts. Just really basic stuff.
And that was enough to pique your interest, though.
Well, yeah, it was, I found it mechanically really interesting how the law actually functions.
Yeah.
And the exact, ways that, the law functioned to, and the reasoning people used, and the ways people arrive at judgments and opinions. Yeah.
Well, I think there's a lot of politics in law, so I'm sure you're going to put all that politics degree to use as well. So tell me a little bit more about your journey so far. Have you done any jobs along your way that you think will help you become a better lawyer?
Well, I didn't do any real jobs per se, but I did do this legal clinic in my master's degree called Trade Lab. It was a international economic law clinic where you had government departments or international organizations. They would have this question of international economic law, and then they would basically submit it to the clinic, and we would get assigned those questions.
Wow, it sounds intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were really complicated questions that didn't really have an answer in scholarship yet, which is why they were asking it in the first place.
Yeah.
So we had to come up with we had to, do a lot of legal research. We had to think about it really hard, and we had to come up with our own opinions and present them in the report and a presentation as well.
So Elvern, I'd say you've dealt with a lot of pressure so far, so you're gonna do okay. So tell me a little bit about, because you and I have had several chats about this sort of off the podcast, about your chosen route into law, and you're doing something called the SQE, right?
Right, yeah.
So because that's becoming more popular, tell me a little bit about this route.
So the Solicitor's qualifying examination is a new route. When I was in the first year of my bachelor's degree, it was 2019, and it was all the rage.
Yeah.
And that was the route I chose because I thought, well, let's ride the new wave, so to speak.
Yeah.
So SQE1 consists of two parts, FLK1 and FLK2. It's basically just an administrative division. And there are multiple choice questions. I believe there are 180 questions in each component.
Wow.
And you have to pass both components of the SQE1 before you can move on to SQE2.
Okay. So how long does that take, that route then, compared to, say, the old route, which I was familiar with, is where you do your degree, your master's, and then you do a 2-year training contract.
Yes.
So how quicker is this route?
Well, the thing with the SQE is that you can technically take it at any time. The SRA has a schedule. They do these tests once every few months. So you can take them at any time. And if you pass both the SQE1 and the SQE2, you have to get what's called qualifying work experience. You have to get 2 years of it. And the SRA website has a really convenient and comprehensive list of what qualifies as qualifying work experience. Crucially, for people who want to get into law, it also includes things like paralegal work, or there's a whole list of other work that's not traditionally how you might qualify in law. So you don't need to have a training contract to qualify as a solicitor.
I love that because it kind of is encouraging people from all walks of life to consider law. I mean, even as you said earlier, you were choosing politics, you chose a module and it completely changed like the trajectory of your career. So
Yes, it did.
You never know.
Yeah.
I love that. And for any of our aspiring lawyers out there or people that might be considering a career in law, do you have any tips for them, Elvern, that you'd like to give to them before we wrap up?
The field, the law industry is very hard to break into. A lot of the big firms are still prefer doing training contracts, and those are very hard to get, obviously. But with the new SQE route, you could explore other ways to qualify as a solicitor, including doing paralegal work as I'm doing right now. And so I just encourage people to keep an open mind and not to get too stuck in the weeds of what you think you have to do. There are other ways to get to the goal of qualifying as a solicitor.
I love that. Like Elvern, you might want to ride a new wave, so you never know. So thanks everyone for joining today. If you do have any questions, because we've been getting a lot of questions about the SQE, pop them over. Elvern might even help us answer them. And do join us next week where we'll be diving into an upcoming piece of legislation that could affect the property market. Quite big piece of legislation. So yeah, see you again next week and have a great weekend, everybody.